the first time I meet you, I want your undivided romantic and sexual attention. So a lot of people, the way they move, they're talking to 3 people at the same time. They're sleeping with 2 of them. When I meet a girl, one of the things that you can bring to the table, and in years past, this used to be the bare minimum you can do, but it's actually, I think it's rather rare today for you to meet a girl and she's not talking to other men. She's properly single. She's not sleeping with other dudes. She didn't just hook up with a guy last week and now she's on a date with you. So from the jump, I want your undivided romantic and sexual attention. All the other guys, once you meet me, if we go on a first date afterwards, it should be a wrap.
So wait, I have a question.
That's something you can bring to the table. For me, anyways.
I don't think that a woman should bring sex to the table after a first date.
No, that's not what I said. I'm saying a lot of women, the way they move is they're talking, they've got situationships, they've got sneaky links, they're talking to a bunch of men. I think something that's rare nowadays, which I guess at least in the past wasn't rare, is not seeing and fucking a bunch of other dudes. So I do think that in years past, that might have been the expectation when first meeting somebody, that you're not fucking a bunch of other people. However, due to, again, I think it is the bare minimum you can bring, but it is something a woman can bring to the table. If I know a girl isn't sleeping with a bunch of other dudes, isn't talking to a bunch of dudes, and is actually going to pursue me the same way I'm going to pursue her for a long-term relationship early on, that is something that a woman can bring to the table. And I would say a lot of women in today's day and age are not bringing what in years past was the bare minimum of undivided romantic and sexual attention.
See, but this was so overcomplicated by casual sex being introduced into dating, because I feel like, think about like stereotypes that you have in your head about how people dated in like the 50s and the 60s. There were girls who were talking to a lot of guys back when the word talking actually meant you're just talking to them, not you're hooking up with a bunch of people. And that wasn't a big deal because you were genuinely using dating to get to know people. And now it seems like the word dating is just used to say I'm,
sleeping
with a bunch of people. Yeah. Like it's completely changed the definition of everything. And like that overcomplicates it. I don't think that someone should give you their undivided sexual attention before marriage. And I think that sex outside of marriage and that becoming acceptable in society has just totally turned everything upside down, and overcomplicated dating to the point where it's not facilitating people getting into long-lasting relationships.
But I do think it's fair to say that sexual attention should be in relationships rather than casually.
I would say those relationships should be marital relationships.
But how do you get there? I mean, you're not just gonna pick up a guy on the street and marry them. Like,
what?
How do you get to that marriage if there's no? I mean, I get it. You connect on like a friendship level and all of that, but
yeah, I've known
how do you know
so
you want to marry
people who
them?
are married now who waited until marriage, and it's a beautiful
I believe
thing.
it. I know people too, but I'm asking, how do you get there? Like, with that.
What do you mean? Like, do you think that having sex before marriage is like a necessity?
No, but I think that people have sexual desires no matter what, and you should go towards that sexual desire.
Why should you automatically gratify all of your desires?
Because you don't want to end up with someone unhappy. I mean, just because you're satisfying a desire doesn't mean you're going against something.
What you're saying makes no sense.
I feel like a lot of people that are saving themselves for marriage, though, are already on the same page with that, so they don't feel the need to just have sex before marriage, obviously.
Yeah, but when they're in the talking stage, are they like...
They actually date. They don't just use the word talking to mean hooking up with people.
But what are they talking about? Just like values, morals?
The things that you should talk about when you're getting to know someone, yeah.
Okay.
But, could be anything, just not, how big is your dick?
Okay.
Or whatever, those other questions.
So when you're married, you're into that, though. You're like, when you're married, you can be freaky with each other, and that's fine, right?
It's kind of a bizarre way to describe it, but like you have a sexual relationship once there's commitment involved. Sorry. You have a sexual relationship with your spouse once there's commitment involved, and the only real commitment, at least in my worldview, is marriage. And I have such esteem, I hold that institution and that sacrament in such high esteem that I don't think anyone should go into it for the wrong reasons.
Okay. I definitely see that. I was just wondering, like, what the beginning stages are, like, for...
That's just
not
what dating was until very,
yeah,
very
you're right.
recently
But
in
we
human
obviously
history.
live in a hypersexual world, so it's
Partly due to people
probably
like you, right?
hard to...
Because,
Shots
I
fired.
mean,
No, I would say you're pointing at people at the bottom of the
saying, like,
pyramid
I'm
and saying
tired
it's
of-
my fault.
Guys, one
Brian
at
is
a
saying,
time,
like,
please.
Brian is saying, I'm tired of, going on a first date with someone and not knowing whether they are talking to, hooking up with a bunch of other guys. I should have a guarantee that we're exclusive. But also, on the other hand, girls don't have the knowledge that this guy they're on a first date with isn't watching videos of other women
Right.
having sex and doing sexually explicit things on the internet all the time. It's equally disturbing, at least to me, and you're part of perpetrating that problem on the modern dating world. Like, you do take part in that. You're not just complicit in it, you're
Right, but you're
you are
saying
actually perpetuating
I'm the
that.
reason for that problem is what she said, and that's not true. I
You're-
think
Part
that
of the reason.
Yeah, part of that, but I'm also someone who grew up around a man's world. It's a man's world, and men want sex, and
Why
women
would you
are
call
gonna
this a
do-
man's world?
It's always been a man's world.
What does that mean to you?
I mean,
You mean it's a patriarchy?
institutionally, like, yes,
Institutionally?
there
What?
are men who have ran institutions, men
Actually,
who
I
have
think the
ran
reason that
media.
society is collapsing right now is because we upended the patriarchy. You've never lived in a patriarchy. I have never lived in a patriarchy. Everything is falling apart and no one is happy.
Well, can't go against you there, I guess, if that's how you
I think
feel.
men had a pretty good system figured out until
No,
feminism
yeah, for
ruined
sure.
everything.
But men, being the sexual creatures that they are, have guided us to a society of hypersexualness.
I don't
Wait,
see
men did?
men or women as sexual creatures. They have a faculty of sexuality. You can temper it or not.
Okay.
It's about
You don't think men are more sexually, like,
physiologically,
aroused?
sure. Yeah, physiologically there is a difference between men and women's sex drives. But
yes.
and
I think that we have made money
do you
off
really
of that
blame
in the past.
are you really blaming men's sex drives for the fact that you are
I'm
creating
not blaming
the demand
anybody.
for it?
I'm just saying what you said was not right. I'm not, like, the reason for
So you're
your...
supplying porn but blaming men for the demand.
I think that porn
That's bizarre to
can
me.
be in a good way. I don't think porn is, like, 100% bad. I do think that it
Is 100% bad. And I think that the women around here who are not doing porn would feel uncomfortable about their boyfriend subscribing to your OnlyFans.
Okay. You don't have to. I didn't ask them to, but what I'm saying, I don't even know what I was saying anymore, actually. You can move on.
Okay.
All right.
That's fine by me.
You got a little too complex for me there, Mary.
I can tell. Yeah.
I'm just a porn star. No. I'm just an OnlyFans girl.
I mean, that's what you are.
Well, I'm not.
I think that you should try to, like,
porn.
be
I definitely
something more
do
than that.
my.
Catfight.
I definitely do my own thing. I'm not, like, mainstream.
I think that what you do is so below your dignity, and this is just not right for you.
Oh.
Is this an intervention for Violet?
It
Let's
is.
do it.
Now
Let's
I'm
have an
like,
intervention.
oh, my life decisions. Yeah, I've definitely thought about these things. I mean, you're not the first person in my life who has said, like, oh, have you thought about this or that? I have, and I am okay with my life decisions.
Okay, we'll find out in 20 years how that works out for you.
We will. We will.
Should we
find
do
out.
a reunion episode? in
We
20 years?
should. Let's see who gets married first, Mary. Let's see.
Okay.
You're currently engaged, aren't you?
No,
or-
she's not
Oh,
engaged.
sorry. Okay, I hope I didn't jinx it or anything. I don't know.
You did.
Wait,
It's okay.
Mary, here, can you look into that camera right there and propose to your boyfriend?
I'm
Or is
not.
that?
I don't believe in women proposing to their boyfriends.
Oh,
That's
okay.
gross.
All right, never mind then. All right. Okay, well. Oh, speaking of which, okay. Oh, it's not reading. Just because men have more testosterone does not mean men rule anything. Due to the feminism blank and T ideology, the majority of the West is now living in a matriarchy, and you can see it before your own eyes. The downfall of America.
It's not even
Prove
a
me
matriarchy because
wrong.
where are the mothers? It's like it's a gynocracy is really what
Oh,
it is.
gynocentric. Okay.
So the men aren't doing what the men should be doing. The women aren't doing what the women should be doing. Where did this come from? Like, it
Feminism.
didn't just come a year ago or in 2017 when I started doing this. Where did the
Of course,
hypersexual?
you're not the cause. I'm not saying that you are.
But where do you think it
It's
kind
a
of like went
psyop.
wrong? Like the 60s? Like where do you
War
think
II.
it went
It's
wrong?
Seneca
the
Falls,
60s.
the Seneca Falls convention.
I would trace it back to the printing press
the
ultimately.
printing press.
But
Get rid of books, ladies
The
and gentlemen.
Industrial Revolution is your answer. No.
no, like I mean, all of these things are a domino effect to where we got feminism, which is a political liberation movement for women. And if we really want to place the blame on anything, it's feminism. And it started way before the 60s.
When do
But
you?
that is when it really went into a crescendo and took over.
Was it like the
mainstream.
20s, like 1919?
I mean,
Or
the roots
even
of
before
feminism go
that?
before that.
Seneca Falls.
And I wouldn't consider I
There's also a lot of
definitely don't
witchcraft
consider-
involved in that.
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
I'm trying to find the date.
exciting.
Seneca Falls was 1848. Yeah, somewhere
But
around
I'm just
there.
saying, like, we would all be in a better position if we were born a century or two ago. And
Nickelodeon
I feel
donated
confident saying that.
$99.
Well, like
How
morally.
many
just one
hours
sec, just one
does
sec.
it take to change a light bulb? None. Feminists can't change anything. That's what men are for.
I mean, they've definitely changed a whole lot. But so how many feminists does it
I
take to change a
mean, I
light?
feel like a light bulb is not the most important issue. Like, who cares if feminists can
What?
change a light bulb or not?
Getting-
Who controls the electrical grid? Men.
But like you just said, we would be in a better place if we were born a couple centuries ago. But we are all essentially all more comfortable than we were a couple centuries ago because of men.
Well, we have so many,
I say
like-
that, but it's also like men are the reason we have like,
Yeah.
air conditioning, lighting, everything. So
That's true.
it's something
That
that,
is
obviously
true.
there's give and take with everything, like yin and yang.
Well, I don't know if this is the episode where we're going to debate about the Industrial Revolution, but can
Maybe
everyone
we'll-
just get behind the fact that it was bad?
I don't know. You'll have to ask the rest of the panel on that one.
Like, I'm comfortable with living in industrial society and like having air conditioning and running water and all that stuff, but if I had never
It's
known what
only
I was
life we
missing,
know, so.
yeah, if I had never known what I was missing, would I be worse off? Really?
I mean,
Probably not.
I think I would have. I like living where I am now, like not 200 years ago.
Can you
or
scoot the
whatever.
mic all the way close
Yeah.
to you? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
like living in this society, not society 200 years ago or
I'm glad
whatever.
you like it, but I don't.
I used to
That's
say
Same
that.
very
I feel
bad.
like
I guess.
people are just forced to be comfortable in this society now, because what else do we have to do? What
We're
else
just
can we
like
do?
overabundant in all the things that we want, but we don't have the things we really need.